My name is David Pantone. I have my father, Paul Pantone, on the phone from the USH to cover his current situation in the custody of the state of Utah. Hi, Dad. How are you today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. First of all, I would like to thank everyone out there, especially you, for what you're doing, putting this site together and trying to get this program going. I appreciate it very much. For all the people out there supporting our group, I want to thank them especially. As soon as I get out, I will try to make it up to everyone I can as fast as possible. But right now, the first order of business is trying to get me out of here.
Can you tell us what you were doing before you got dragged into custody?
In 2001, I was issued a license by the State of Utah Board of Regents as a school of higher education. When the director came out, he found that about 20-25% of all of our students held PhD in physics or advanced sciences. They determined that we were teaching plasma physics at a higher level than anyone else at that time in the United States, and we were granted our license as a university. At that time, we called it the GEET International Institute of Technology, and we had students from all over the world. About 30% of our students came in from Europe, and most of those from Paris area. We taught on the first day the science aspect of it as to the different phenomena that were occurring, how and why, to the best that we could. I believe a lot of that is right up at your site there, and people can go there if they're already there to hear this and check out some of the educational things you have up. And then we're going to be having other links in the near future, I hope, to me as soon as I can get out of here, working with you to start teaching the technology to those people that are members of our group.
How did you first come to be arrested?
Attorneys that I thought were working for me were actually working for people that are ex-employees that were trying to take over my company. And they set up paperwork to make it appear that I was selling stock illegally when I wasn't. Then they went forward to the Attorney General in Utah and said I was selling stock, which I was not selling. But the transactions that they questioned didn't even occur in Utah. They occurred in Colorado, in Idaho, in Nevada, and Arizona. So at no time was jurisdiction Utah.
Okay, and you were sentenced for that charge?
Yes, they were going to give me about 7 or 8 sentences. They were going to try to get me for as many counts of fraud as they could, and the way they were doing it was they said if they, and this is right in the court record, you can hear that at the other website there, that geettrans.net. The judge and the Attorney General on 12-1205 were trying to put a stop to me billing orders for people who had already bought plans or licenses. They didn't want me to tell anyone how it worked or why it worked. And if they could lock me up in a place like this where I had no phone access except to you and other family people, that's it, then they felt they could control the technology ever getting out. Therefore, they could go ahead and patent it themselves with slight modifications, and I would never be allowed to market my technology.
Okay, so you were taken to the Utah State Hospital after you'd already served your sentence?
Well, originally the judge had sentenced me to 120 days, and that was the only reason I agreed to that in a plea bargain was they were going to arrest my wife simply for being my wife, and they were trying to pressure me into a guilty plea. And when they said they were just going to arrest her and put her in jail, and it could be years before she ever got to see the grandkids again, I couldn't let that happen. And I said, I'll plead guilty as long as there's no sentence, and I just leave Utah. And they said, we're going to give you maximum 4 months, and you'll have to pay restitution to the 2 people that are working with the Attorney General's office, which are the 2 biggest crooks that I did not owe money to. I agreed to pay those 2 people back whatever they could prove I owed them, which would have been 0, then serve a maximum 4 months. So Judge Royal Hanson put me in the jail for 4 months with the psychological profile evaluation done, 3 psychiatrist said there was nothing wrong with me. I should be released immediately. The judge went ahead and had me transferred down here to the Utah State Mental Hospital, where I have been kept in maximum security with very dangerous criminals.
Because the part of the hospital you're in is actually part of the prison, is that right?
Yes, it is. It's Department of Corrections mental facility here. And most of the people in this unit that I'm in right now are people that have been convicted of murder already. Very gruesome ones.
Okay. What is a treatment like for you and others in there?
I would have to say it is most of the time torturous. Today's a good example. The gym, they're trying to save money, they said, so it's just ice cold and you sit down there and shiver when you're supposed to be exercising. Then come back and they've got all these bright lights on so you can't see the TV, but you've got to sit there for a half hour and watch television. Then they tell you to go to your room for a while. Your confinement is such that they're constantly treating you like a 3 to 5 year old mentally retarded person, because part of the hospital here that's supposed to be a hospital is supposed to be devoted to mentally retarded people, so they treat everyone like they're mentally retarded. There is no evaluations going on. There's no psychiatrist here. There's a doctor that comes in a couple days a week, and he doesn't come in to see the patients. He comes in just to fill out paperwork. No one here is licensed or qualified to be here, even though the state says they have to be. They're violating every civil right law that they can. People who say, I want to see my family, I'm sorry, you can't. It took me 2.5 years to get permission to just be able to talk to you.
What kind of impact has the treatment had on your health specifically? What kind of things have gone on, and what about?
When I came in here, I was able to play basketball 2 to 3 hours a day, work out on the exercise machines another 2 or 3 hours a day, and right now, because of a broken foot that occurred here, getting all my teeth knocked out while I was here, injury to my lower back from falling in the shower. There's no facilities there for handicap. And generally my health has gone to the point where the hepatitis C that I got while I was here, and I have no idea if I might have more than that. They will not give me the blood test if asked for it. I'm in very poor condition right now. I can barely make it 50 to 75 feet without taking a break to take a rest now. And that's using a walker or a wheelchair.
And
sorry, I gotta go. My time is up on this call.
Okay, we'll continue when you can call back.
I'll call you back in probably about an hour and a half.
Okay, talk to you then. I wanted to ask you how your competency evaluations have gone.
Well, I attend groups here ranging from groups of 3 or 4 people up to 35 at a time for competency, and where they claim in court that they're teaching law and competency, some of the things they use for teaching competency I don't understand, like watching cartoons, just watching television, playing cards, doing crossword puzzles, learning how to put tattoos on human bodies, Dirty Jobs, which is a series on television. All of these things that they're saying are therapeutic. I have not found any therapeutic quality whatsoever. So as far as competency, most of the people working here are so incompetent they shouldn't be employed. They don't know how to teach competency, and they have no guidelines for teaching.
Well, I understand they're supposed to give you an evaluation every 3 months.
The law says they're supposed to give an evaluation every 3 months, but to save money, they don't do it. They send students around to meet you and give you a 2-page flyer that you have to fill out with yes or no answers. And there's silly questions sometimes like, do you still steal cookies on Sunday? Well, no matter how you answer that, it would show that you have a mental problem. there's a lot of the questions they ask, there is no right answer. There's only a yes or a no, where either answer is going to imply that you have a problem. So they do not have psychiatrists working at this location. They're claiming to be a hospital, but they are not. There are no doctors on duty. They're short-staffed on nurses, and normally they don't have enough regular staff to even be operating. Most of the staff working here right now are calling themselves psych techs. And if you look in the computer under the workforce directory for occupations title, you'll find that a psychiatric technician is supposed to be one that is a licensed daycare worker that can do certain things medically, and none of the people here are qualified.
How about the injections they want to give you?
At this time, to my knowledge, every single patient in the hospital, in this section of what they're calling the hospital, the forensics unit, is under medication, many of whom have court orders saying that they will not be medicated, but they're still forcibly medicated. Because of the amount of publicity involved in this, they don't want to forcibly medicate me. They're trying to get me to cooperate. And if that means not giving me glasses, not allowing me to have shoes that I need, not giving me the surgery I needed for my mouth to save all my teeth, they're willing to do any amount of torture necessary to get me to agree to taking the psychotropic drugs. They want me to start taking Risperdal, Pyrazidone. There's 3 different medications that they're calling medications that are no more than just drugs. The people here that are on those drugs have terrible shakes, memory problems, speech problems, vision problems. Most of them that I knew before they started the drugs, when they got here, once they've been on the drugs for 2 to 3 months, it is such a noticeable difference that you would never hire them to do a job on the outside. If you saw somebody come in shaking or twitching this bad, you'd assume that there is something drastically wrong and they aren't able to function.
Are there any staff who sympathize with you in there?
There's usually 5 staff on each shift, 3 shifts a day here, and about half of them were pretty much sympathetic to my cause and had belief that I should not be medicated. All of the staff that were sharing that feeling with me, one after another during the last 3 months, has been terminated in their employment or transferred to a different department, and people are being brought in right now that do not want to listen to anything other than what they're being told to do. Right now, I would have to say there's only one friendly person left on staff. There is a very good chance at this time they could do a forcible takedown, claiming that I was being belligerent or a danger, and give me injections. So I am very close to that at this time.
You've attempted...
They have been threatening to do that if I was not willing to take the drugs and sign a release saying I want to be medicated because I want to be declared mentally ill. If I'm not willing to do that, then they will find a way of forcibly medicating me. If I am willing to do that and accept a guilty plea and give my patent to the state of Utah, then they might let me out someday. But the same doctors that are saying that this is a condition are also telling me that the hepatitis could kill me within 3 to 6 months.
Have you tried to have your own personal physician come in?
On numerous occasions, I have had Dr. Turner come in at one point as a visitor, and he did a blood workup on me. And at a time when I told the hospital that I had an infection in my mouth and pus was squirting out, and I tried to eat food or anything, you could see the pus coming out through the skin. And in my foot, I had green pus coming out the end of the big toe after surgery. The nurses here at the hospital said there was nothing wrong, it was all in my mind. Dr. Turner did tests at a laboratory, and his results, I believe, are published up on the internet and have been supplied to the court, showing that I had a staph infection and strep throat at the same time. And it wasn't until 3 or 4 weeks after his results came in that they finally decided to give me some antibiotics. The hospital no longer will allow any doctor to come in other than doctors on their payroll that will say exactly what they want said. They do not want outside opinions.
How about the complaints that you filed with the various organizations and with the courts? How have they been handled?
Well, on the wall here it says that we have patient rights that we can call the Disability Law Center. Here's a list of other places, but after filing complaints with them for almost 3 years, never getting a satisfactory answer to anything, I found out that every patient, including myself, who told Disability Law Center anything, the information was being delivered directly back to the administration of the hospital, and then we'd get further punishment or torture for opening our mouth. We just found out recently on the internet that the Disability Law Center, in fact, knew about all these criminal allegations that had been made before and began legal action against the state hospital. Only it appears that the Attorney General's office somehow managed to threaten or coerce them into dropping all charges. At that same time, their director and their lead attorney no longer works for the Disability Law Center. I tried to file complaints with the FBI, and Mr. Cannon here from the local FBI office refused to take a written report even for murder. He said, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to take reports of anything that happens at this hospital because there's too many family and friends that work here that are affiliated with the local FBI, so we can't take reports. Neither can the local police nor the sheriff. So you have no direction to go except go to the federal level, Washington, D.C., because we will not take a report against the state of Utah. My time on this call is up. I'll call you back as soon as I can.
Okay, talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
How has it been handling your case within the USH?
If it wasn't for you helping me long distance from U.S. to France and Amsterdam there, I probably wouldn't have been able to get a lot of this out. But right now, we are able to communicate out through several other people as well that you've assisted in putting in place so we can get documents in and out, just like I did today. We should be able to get paperwork in and out now on a regular basis. They're still giving me a hard time. My mail is being gone through, even though the law here in the United States says they're not allowed to open legal documents. Not only do they open legal documents, they steal evidence out of them and make sure that I don't get the legal documents. And as far as sworn statements from other prisoners here that have been abused, and some of them pretty viciously, all sworn statements and everything when we tried to get them out of here have been confiscated. So trying to get any help in here is really hard because they have terrorized the patients and prisoners here, and they've scared the employees to believe that if they cooperate with me or my side at all, they not only will lose their jobs and their pensions and benefits, but they'll never be able to get a job here in the state of Utah again. So they made some pretty hefty threats. And it's called witness tampering or evidence tampering, but when the state does it, it's pretty hard to get around it.
There's been some interference from the Attorney General as well, hasn't there?
Oh, yes. Every time I've turned around, the Attorney General has lied to the judge, lied to the courts. They put things in writing they shouldn't have. At one point, the Assistant Attorney General, Susan Eisman, told the judge here in the 4th District Court that she wanted him to strike parts of federal law from a complaint so that no action could be taken against her or the judge. And once he struck those items and issues, then she said just dismiss the whole case. And the judge has done exactly what they wanted. They have stopped me from getting medical attention. And on several occasions, even in court and on the court record, Susan Eisman has said that whoever is in possession and control of Paul Pantone is not bound by the United States Constitution. So it appears that I'm being held here by a foreign country.
So they won't let you speak in court since they claim you're incompetent. And how has it been trying to get any documents into court or filed on your behalf?
Every document that I've tried to get filed on my behalf proving that I am competent and there is no problem with me, that it is the system here and my innocence, all the documents I put forward to the court have been rejected. The court is allowing them in the folder, but they're not allowing them as evidence that I can use on my own defense. Every attorney I've had has been threatened or basically bought up by the Attorney General, one after another. One went to work full-time for the Attorney General's office. That was my first attorney, Richard Music. Another one, Mr. Jim's barber, he was swung over to their side for a fee of about $20,000. Then Gil Affey, he got up and lied in the courtroom after he became an attorney for the prosecuting attorney, Richard Hemp. But one after another, all these attorneys are either threatened or bought up.
How are the judges handling what you have filed in the Utah courts?
Nothing that I say or my attorneys are saying is having any bearing at all. It is 100%. The Attorney General tells the judge what they want, the judge is doing it. So the judge is acting in conspiracy with them to totally violate the United States Constitution, the Geneva Convention, everything. Right now this place is, in my opinion, worse than Guantanamo. The biggest chance of escape from this system is the hiring of a new attorney who we have discussed, and I don't want to mention right now on the site for fear that if we do mention who it is, the state would immediately lean on that attorney to not be available or not represent me. If we can get the attorney to represent me and walk this into the federal court for habeas corpus, I believe I could be released in as little as a week or two. So right now, if we can get the $7,500 we need in U.S. dollars, that would get me out of here. And I'm very confident that once I get released, I don't think there's any way on earth that they put me back in. Because my entire sentence, if I was ever to have been sentenced, was supposed to be maximum 4 months. I've already been incarcerated for over 3 years.
Yeah, that's way too long. Yeah, any time is too long, but everybody's really anxious to see you get out of there, so we're all going to do our best to help you out. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we conclude?
Well, I'd like to get out as soon as possible and reopen the doors to start teaching the technology and get it out worldwide as fast as possible. So if anyone out there would like to participate, I'd look forward to participation in many of the fields. And we're looking for people that want to become students. The minute I get out, I will be holding some classes so that we can teach people how to put this on small engines, medium-sized engine, and large engines. And I'll be doing most of that work from the Oklahoma, Texas area while I bring you up to speed on everything I can do over there so we can get you some working prototypes that you can work with in Europe.
Okay, well, thanks for making this recording with me, Dad, and I guess it's about the end of your 10 minutes, so Happy New Year.
Yeah, well, maybe next week we'll have some better news, I hope.
Yeah, I think things are looking in a positive direction.
And thanks for putting this together for me, son.
Well, I'm going to head out, so I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, God bless.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.